Welcome to another episode of the Shifting Your Atmosphere podcast with me, your host, K Simone. And today's episode is brought to you by this mug. Yes, ma'am. This mug from the Shifting Your Atmosphere brand because my allergies are raggedy and this is going to help me get through it. Okay. So, in today's episode, what I decided to talk about was watching your mouth. Okay. Because life and death is in the power of the tongue, right? Right. Now, I used to be a number one offender. I'm still working on being a number one offender of letting any and everything fly out my mouth. I am real quick to say whatever I think. I'm real quick to say whatever I feel. And real quick to use a lot of dark humor. That was a coping mechanism I used to use. Over time, I started to see some of the things that I would say jokingly come to fruition, and they weren't the happy, cute things, right? They were a lot of the side ways things that I said. So I'm like, mm-mm. That's enough. Watch your mouth. Watch your mouth, girl, because that's just not it. Then I began to grow in my personal journey, in my walk, in my faith, and to show up for myself every day through the shift challenge. And when I began to do that, I started to do a lot of speaking life into myself, speaking life into my home, speaking life into my children, speaking life into the things that I wanted, right? So there it is again that I'm changing what I speak about and realizing that my words have a ton of power positively and negatively. So today, as we talk about how we need to watch our mouth, I got a couple ways that I learned to watch my mouth. So let's get into it. So y'all know we got to do every episode, right? We got to go over to the Styledbyksimone's fashion corner for a fit check. Yes, we do. Okay, and if you're listening to the audio only, over to my Instagram at Styledbyksymone or TikTok at Styledbyksymone to see the pictures or to get ready with me of today's fit check. Okay, let's head over to it. Welcome to Style by K Simone's Fashion Corner, where every episode we're going to do a fit check. So today's star of the outfit is this padded cropped vest that's turtleneck. I just paired it with a regular basic cream turtleneck underneath. These are just some basic work pants that I used to wear to the office. And then, of course, a boot. Y'all already know. Y'all already know about the boots. We just got some hoops, my 95 necklace, and then the basics, the gold rings. What we think of today's fit? Not too much, not too little, but good enough to get us to the episode. Okay, let's get back to the episode. Did y'all like today's fit check? I did. I don't know what the weather doing, but we just gonna keep dressing however the weather see fit. Okay, the first one is that your tongue can be a double-edged sword. I recently went to a brunch with some women from my church, and the facilitator, she was talking about how she called everybody a church girl. So she'd be like, "Hey, church girl." I'd be like, "Hey, girl." But she was like, "Tell me your good church girl and your bad church girl." So she had both have us have both of our hands out. And as I was sitting there thinking, what came to me? What was my good and my bad? My double-edged sword on both sides, right? And what was it? My mouth, my mouth. And I shared with the group that I love to sing. Obviously, I'm on this podcast so I can talk, and I've learned to speak positively. So that's all the positive, the good. But with this very same mouth, I could tear some people up. I could tear some people up. It used to be so bad, y'all. You have no idea how much self-work has went into me calming down my attitude, me calming down. It's not that I was just such a dramatically angry and controversial person. It's that I would even stick up for the little man, the little guy. Like if somebody was doing somebody else wrong, I was like, "Oh, you're not? Mm-mm. You're not. I know you're not gonna do them like that. Not with me standing here. Not with me standing here." So I thought I was gonna defend everybody in the world. And over time, I learned that kind of sometimes it's okay to watch your mouth. And that brings me to life and death being in the power of the tongue. Do y'all really know what that means? Okay, if you don't, let's go over it. Life and death being in the power of your tongue means your words hold power. The things that you say will become. Now, it's not like a magic genie in a bottle kind of situation. It's more like the things that you continuously say are the things that you continuously begin to think. The things you continuously begin to think are the things that get down in your heart. The things that get down in your heart and you think start to interact with your behavior. So you keep spewing it out your mouth. It's getting in your brain, it's getting in your heart, then it's going to get into your actions. So that works both positively and negatively. You speak out of your mouth, I want to start a business. You speak out of your mouth, I will reach my fitness goal. You speak out of your mouth, all these positive things, they get inside you and then you start to exhibit behaviors that will get you there, right? Same thing negatively though. You speak, I will never this, I will never that. I'ma just always be this. I'ma just always be that. You are training your mind and putting it in your mind to start to think those things, and you begin to behave in manners that brings that to fruition. So, yeah, watch your mouth. We are going to understand that life and death is in the power of our tongue. So we're not gonna just be saying any and everything, okay? We're going to be intentional with our words. I've even started stop mid sentence on people. I'll be talking to them. I'll be like, y'all, and and they'll be like, what's wrong with you? I'm like, nah, hold on. I'm trying to think of a better way to say that. I was about to get ready to say something reckless. Yeah. So you can ask anybody that I have been around recently, and they'll be like, yeah, she will stop mid conversation to regather her words because I mean that intentional about watching what I say. Because what I'm not going to do is speak some more things into existence out of the reckless of my mouth. Like, no. I'm going to say so much positive stuff that if that's true, that it's coming out, everything comes to fruition out of what I say out of my mouth, everything going to just be happening all straight positive because that's all I'm saying. You can't ask me to say nothing else needed. I have no time. I have no time. Second ways in watching your mouth that I have learned is be careful what you pray. I'm not laughing because praying is a joke. I'm laughing because y'all have no idea how many things I have prayed over my personal journey, my personal walk trying to grow with God. And the prayer sounded good. The prayer sounded powerful. The prayer sounded intentional, right? But later when I started seeing it come to into existence, I'm like, girl, should you have prayed that? I really don't know. For example, I pray for patience. Baby, when I tell you everything, everybody who could possibly try my patience tried it. Not once, not twice, but at least 3 times, okay? And I used to pray and listen to music or do things like close my door and gather myself. And it got to the point that I couldn't even collect myself, y'all. It's bad when you pray for patience and can't collect yourself because how you gonna make it through? You either gonna fail the test or you're gonna drive yourself crazy trying to pass the test. So be careful what you pray for. Make sure you do a little research to see what that means. Make sure you are ready or you are a no limit soldier and you're gonna just push through it anyway. Once you realize what you pray, God's gonna answer you with tests and trials and conditioning to get you to the answer of that prayer. He not gonna just give it to you. Okay? So yeah, be careful what you pray. Another prayer I prayed was, God, help me see you in everything. I just want to see you. Help me recognize you in the smallest and littlest things. And y'all, that's why y'all can get sick of me. People probably do get sick of me of somehow finding a random God point or revelation in any and everything. But when I tell you, I prayed that, and I prayed that in a time where I felt like I couldn't hear God's voice. So I prayed that because I felt like I couldn't hear him. So I'm like, just show me you everywhere. And now I can look at an apple and it'll be like, look at this creation God made. Can you believe? Like it's bad now, y'all. It's bad. Not because I don't appreciate seeing God and everything, and it keeps me very in tune and very grateful all the time, y'all. But it's just sometimes I just be like, I just wanna coast. Like I don't wanna see everything in such a deep and intentional way. Cause some days I just wanna chill. But I prayed for those things and God answered my prayers. But I'm very grateful that He answered my prayers. So when I look back, I can't say God answered my prayers because He answered them. I just couldn't recognize how He was answering them. So yeah, from now I'm gonna watch what I pray, okay? But be sure I'm ready. Y'all be sure y'all ready too. Don't say I told you not to pray, cause I didn't tell you that. But what I did say was be sure about what you're gonna pray, because when he start to answer the prayer, it may not look how you would want it to look ideally. Be ready. I don't know too much more than that, but be ready. One of the other ways that I got into learning to watch my mouth was speaking life into myself. As I began to grow on my journey in loving myself and rediscovering my identity and showing up for myself every day, I began to speak life over myself. And one of the ways that I began to do that was with my morning affirmations, y'all. So I created it in a lot of forms, but this is the one that I have on my shelf in my bathroom. And they're available in with the Shifting Your Atmosphere brand too. But I began to read these every day. So my morning affirmations to myself were: I am a child of God. I am more than enough. I am fearfully and wonderfully made. I am an overcomer. I am the example for my family. I will be who God called me to be. I will break generational curses. I will be whole and happy. I have joy, peace, and determination. I have full control over how I react to any situation. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. And baby, saying that every single day, every single morning while looking at yourself in the mirror, talk about you ain't speak. You speaking life. You speaking life. You speaking life. You speaking life over yourself. I was speaking life into myself. And now I could do that much more freely in other ways and just speaking positive to myself, because my self talk was really, really negative before. Like I would say crazy things to myself. And my therapist was like, girl, that's a no. Why do you wonder why you don't think so highly of yourself? Or what you say to yourself. So I began to intentionally speak life over myself, starting with these because this was easy for me to memorize. But now I could do it over my children. I could do it without thinking. I could do it while I'm cooking. I could do it anywhere now because I've gained the discipline around speaking life into myself. And now I speak life over other people. I see you. I'm just speak. Yeah. I'm speaking life over myself, my kids, and my people, because life and death is in the power of your tongue. And I'm going to speak things that aren't as though they were until they are. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. And you should too. Okay. And that brings me to the very, very last part of me learning to watch my mouth. Everything does not deserve a response, y'all. Everything does not deserve a response. And that was one of the things that we discussed and talked about in them saying that they're going to pray for me to help me get control of my mouth. Because your silence speaks volumes. Just as much as your words have power, your silence speaks volume. I had a very, very, very bad habit of defending myself, because one of my pet peeves is for me to be wrongfully depicted in any shape or fashion, to be blamed for something I didn't do, for the story to not be told the proper way. And God really, really had to work on me in saying every time you go and you try to defend yourself, all you are doing is wrapping yourself deeper and deeper into the situation versus letting it go and coming out of it. So I believe He was teaching me that simply to grow me and deepen me into learning everything doesn't deserve a response. Sometimes it's okay for you to not say anything and not speak on every little thing on the behalf of every little person, and go and pray, right? Pray and allow God to come to the situation. Pray and allow God to handle and fight the battles for you. Pray and allow whatever that situation is to experience your absence. If you typically are a person that is quick to respond or quick to ramble off at the mouth, that's what people expect out of you, right? So when out of nowhere, they get no response for you, they are thrown off, y'all. They are thrown off. They're like, hey, but you gotta be careful though, because tread lightly with this one, okay? Because it took me a little minute. I wouldn't give something a response the very first time and think I'm getting by. And then something will come back and pick at me again. I'm like, now, now, Jesus, you just heard me hold my tongue. You just heard me watch my mouth. You just heard me not do too much. Now, why would they come back and bother me again? So I hold together again. And they'll poke at me again some way, somehow. Now, I'm running out of cheeks to turn, Jesus. And so he really, really worked with me on teaching me to just close my mouth. Everything does not deserve a response, and he will handle it. So I hope that after today's episode, y'all really decide to tap in and tune in with watching your mouth. Okay? I just thought of another way about watching your mouth. You watch your mouth and how you speak to people, right? You never know on any given day if what you say to somebody can make a difference in their life, right? You don't know if you are the first person to say hi to them, to smile at them, to be nice to them, to say that they look beautiful today. You have no idea if they were contemplating something real on the edge of 13 reasons why or anything. Like, you don't know what someone is going through or what kind of impact you can make on somebody's life. So I would say watch your mouth and how you speak to people, no matter if it's people around you or strangers, because in that same regard, it can help aid in how conversations and situations and interactions can flow as well. When you speak to someone, like even for me, when I speak to my kids in ways that poses a question that provokes them to think for themselves, right? To think about what they're doing, what they're saying, what mistakes they may have made, and how they can do it differently. Or when I was in a relationship in the past, I tried to be intentional about how I spoke to him as a man, because I wanted to speak life into supporting him, to uplift him, to encourage him, right? Take all of these little steps. Just take all of these topics and areas that I have told you about how I learned to watch my mouth and how you can learn to watch your mouth, and just do inventory of your mouth this week. Okay? Just think of, as you're talking, just free and so just think real quick. Was that a good way to use my mouth? Was it a good way to use my words? Have I spoke life into myself this week? Have I spoke life into someone else this week? Have I prayed something and I think my prayers are not answered, but I haven't realized really what I prayed and how that really comes to fruition? Have I given my words to in an area where my silence was really more powerful and it didn't deserve a response? Or lastly, had any situation that has gone positively or negatively in my life this week gone that way as a outward reflection of how I spoke into it? Okay, y'all. Until the next episode, I want you to like, share, comment, and follow us on social media. My personal social media is Styledbyksymone, all together. Now, TikTok is all Styledbyksymone. The Shifting Your Atmosphere Instagram is Shifting.your.atmosphere. If y'all got any questions for me, leave them below in the comments, because I love to answer questions. And it provokes another conversation, quite possibly.